Many Mabinogi players ask the question, is it worth it to buy the Ocean Traveler pet box? It's a new pet Gachapon, so it only has pets within the boxes. It prominently features a new whale pets, as long as some other returning favorites like the corgi pets and the cat sheep pets, at either $4.90 for one box, $14.70 for 3 boxes, and $45 for a total of 10 boxes, along with some other guaranteed bonuses within. Many players wonder if it's worth their money to buy this pet Gachapon. Today, I will be doing a quick breakdown of what the rare pets do, examine the current EV of the pets on both servers, and my final ranking on the entire Gachapon as a whole. Let's get started. So I'm going to give you the rundown for all the rare pets really quickly to see what they do. Note that I'm going to be skipping the alternate colors for pets, like the luminous and abyss cat cheese, or the starback and the bareback whales. The whale pets are the newest pets of Mabinogi. On summon, they deal damage with a stun effect. This stun is similar to the Bone Dragon, Mirror Dragon, and Sheetuplet stun, and can do things like cancel Kraken legs or picking you up. They have 3 useful skills, one of which gives a passive elixir effect plus a small movement speed increase for 3 minutes with a 10-minute cooldown, a knockback AoE attack that applies a debuff to afflicted enemies that makes them take 10% more damage, and a passive effect that has a 20% chance to revive you with 30% HP if the whale is currently conscious. They can do mounted combat and load skills while mounted, but they do not know how to use Windmill. It's a little too early to say what I really think of these whale pets, but overall I think that they're pretty okay. You can use 4 whales to loot the elixir effect indefinitely, but they aren't really necessary to have in the late game. They're a bit annoying to use, but if you know how to use the whales effectively, they'll buff up your damage tremendously. I'll be doing a full review on the whale pets in the near future, so keep an eye out for that. The corgi pets deal a slight amount of damage on summon, similar to a Pegasus pet. They passively apply a debuff to nearby enemies, either reducing defense and protection if it's a novice or warrior corgi, or magic defense and magic protection if it's a wizard corgi. They can also heal you slightly and buff your defensive stats for 30 seconds every 10 minutes. Corgi pets are also alright, but they are essential if you use magic or alchemy, as it is one of the few sources of magic defense and magic protection reduction in the game. The cat cheese deal a slight amount of damage on summon like a Pegasus pet. They also come with cat paws that restore 10% of your HP, MP, and stamina when you walk over them, although they don't heal wounds. You can also pick a life talent when you first receive the cat chi, which will multiply the value of each training count by 2 times when you use a skill in that talent while the cat chi is out. They can do mounted combat and load skills while mounted, but they do not know how to use Windmill. Cat chis are pretty nice to have for healing and for training. Although they can't recover wounds, having the healing burst and additional life skill training support is sweet. I personally was fine with only 3 cat cheese, but more will be fun for healing more people. Time to get into the estimated values, or EVs for short. Pet Gachapon is usually worth a lot of gold, but is it really worth your money over just selling reforges? Let's take a look. For the Now server, these are the prices of the pets currently. And here's the estimated value if you would buy 1 box and 1 adoption medal, 3 boxes and 3 medals, and 10 boxes and 11 medals including the bonus items. Compared to just selling fine reforges, you're making a bit over 70 mil more on average by just buying and selling the pets that you get from the Ocean Traveler pet box. And here are the prices for Alexina. These are the prices of the pets currently. And here's the estimated value if you would buy 1 box and 1 adoption medal, 3 boxes and 3 medals, and 10 boxes and 11 medals including the bonus items. You're making almost an additional 140 mil off of the Ocean Traveler pet box in profit compared to just selling fine reforges. Now, the EV calculations make a lot of assumptions. It assumes that you will sell literally every single pet that you get with a pet adoption medal that you buy yourself. It assumes that you will be able to sell at the price instantly, and it also assumes that the prices during the day that I'm recording this video. However, pet Gachapon values almost always go up drastically in price after the Gachapon ends. For example, Wizard Corgis were over 80 mil at one point in Now until they got re-released. Holding on to these pets and selling them for a profit later will drastically increase your profits should you sell them. But generally speaking, the EV calculation lets you know if it's worth it to buy the Gachapon itself versus selling fine reforges to get the gold to buy the pets that you want. Overall, the Ocean Traveler pet box is very much worth their money, as the EV is sky high. For my conclusion, I will give 3 grades. 1 if you're selling the pets for profit, one if you're an early game, mid game, or new or returning player, and one if you're an established endgame player. If you're just selling the pets for profit, the EV for this Gachapon is very high, especially in Alexina. You can make tons of gold off of this Gachapon, and if you invest for a few months, you can make even more gold in the future. This Gachapon for profit is a solid S ranking. If you are a new or returning player, or someone in the early or mid game, pet Gachapons like these are always worth getting. There are a lot of useful pets in this Gachapon like Frost Dragons and Fallen Fairies that players in the endgame use a lot. There are only a couple of misses in this Gachapon like the Astral Pegasus and the banned Floral Fairy, but the rest of the Gachapon have slam dunk hits for your position in the game. Overall, it's an A+. If you're an endgame player, you're most likely asking if it's worth it to get the whale pets, since you most likely have every other pet in this Gachapon already. Whale pets are nice, but not necessary. A necessary pet in the endgame is something like a Bone Dragon, where it has a debuff, a stun effect, and Devil's Cry, which completely dominate endgame content. Although the whale sounds fantastic on paper, getting to use it in actual combat is a bit clunky, requiring a lot of different combos in order to use properly. I will go over this later in my whale review video, but I'm going to give you a B right now if you're an endgame player. This Gachapon is nice to have, but if you can't buy any, don't sweat it too hard. Buy a couple whales from other players with gold if you really want them. Anyways, that will do it for me for this video. Hopefully this video has helped you make a decision on whether to spend on it or not. Look forward to more of these Gachapon examinations in the future. Until next time, peace!